writing down documents, just bouncing ideas back and forth off each other until we got like the final concept. Then we started building on. True story is that I was watching a friend of mine play a Lord of the Rings game, and he was not really playing the game for the purpose. He was just there, you know, slashing enemies over and over and over, laying them all down, but they would disappear. And I mean, we built a game around that idea.
Then when he pitched the concept to me, I started running wild with the combat system, coming up with the context-sensitive, kind of simplified controls and everything. The chaos of the idea that he had pitched was just wonderful for me to just be able to run with. How do we get that chaos but still let the player have full control?
From the start, we decided we wanted to be an arcade game. We want the experience of, you know, when we were fifth graders and we walked in the arcade, you don't need a big instruction book. You put your quarter in and the game tells you in one screen what you're doing, and you know, you pick it up extremely quickly and it's a lot of fun, and after 15-20 minutes you want to keep pumping quarters into it to keep playing it.
I think one of the things that really makes it stand out is that you start out and it seems like this real simple game. It's just a punch fest. You're walking around, you're punching this guy, you're grabbing that guy. But each time you play it, you learn that you have more moves and there's more depth to it. And then you start to learn to do change, you start to learn how to get the bonuses, and eventually, you know, you're working towards those 4 million score points, you know, and it starts to get very complex. We've had a lot of people say that they've wasted many hours playing Rumblebox just to try to get higher scores.
Trapped in a dungeon with nowhere to go? Not exactly. There are always tons of portals to help you find your way in this creative maze in Narbacular Drop.
Narbacular Drop is a first-person perspective environmental exploration game using a unique portal technology that we came up for the game. At any time in the game, you can place 2 interlinked portals that will bind to places in space along the walls, and we focus all of our gameplay around that so that you have to use this unique technology to solve puzzles and navigate around the rooms. The basic story of the game is that you're Princess Nonis and you're trapped in a dungeon. You were trapped by a large demon character that's also in the same dungeon. But the kick is that the dungeon itself is alive. It's an entity, so it's a fantasy environment. And the dungeon doesn't like the demon. So the dungeon has decided to help you get rid of the demon by opening these portals. We really wanted to get this down to just core gameplay, because at DigiPen we learned that if you put too many ideas into a game that's on a strict deadline of it has to be done by April, you tend not to get done. So we just wanted to make it as simple as possible, and we got that core gameplay of Portals working, and then we just added layers on layers onto that. Portals in sci-fi and stuff like that have been around for a while, but portals in other games have always been very limited in what they look like and what you can do with them. They're almost always pre-placed, and most of them you can't even really get a good look at what's on the other side. Usually you'll see like a still screen of what's on the other side and stuff like that. So we decided very early on that we were going to go with this gameplay idea and then build a game around it where you can see through the portals and they're just as seamless as possible.